Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the best room, the creative room. Creative thinking. Okay, so what I've done, I've broken it down into nice, easy 6 principles of coming up with creative ideas. They can be websites, they could be brands, they could be an idea that you want to do for a campaign or anything. It's anything creative. You can use these fairly basic and simple principles. But before I start, let's talk about me, because I'm standing up here and you're looking at me. It's a bit intimidating. I'm Gregg, creative director at Yoyo. I founded it about 10 years ago in my mum and dad's spare room. Yeah, that was fun. Started Yoyo just as a reaction to doing more creative design. It was websites, but I was doing anything creative, so graphic design, all that sort of stuff. I was pretty crap at school. I wasn't very smart. I didn't really get English or maths. So the only things that I was really good at were drawing, art, sort of graphic design, CDT, cool, that's going back some, and also sports. So I kind of had the 2 options, and I went down the more design route because I thought I could make money in it. And I still do sports. I swim nationally, so I keep that as a hobby, but it's more predominantly doing graphic design and websites. Yoyo was sort of founded, like I said, about 10 years ago, but now there's about 20 of us. We're working with some great brands. I'll go into them in a minute. It ranges from creatives, so designers, to project managers, developers, and then sort of sales team, which is where I'm moving to now because I'm sort of the director. So I'm moving into what's the work we want to be getting. But the main thing that we like to do, and we like to sort of put our tagline in, is experiences with impact. It's all about the experience. You don't want to go to a website and not feel anything. It's what do you feel? You can sort of see it in how the high street is now. It's not a place that you go to buy something and you go in there very matter of fact and you buy a t-shirt or a pair of jeans. You go in there to have a look around. You go with some friends, you have a coffee, you do stuff. It's an experience, it's a feeling. So that's what we're trying to do with websites. Some of the clients, it's some of our friends. We work with a wide range of clients. It's from like JP Morgan, which are a big financial. We do augmented reality, some virtual reality, and we do like microsites for them. We do some stuff with Mercedes-Benz World. So that's an driving experience where you go for a day, like a red letter day, if you know what that is. And it's the experience starts on the website. It's what do you feel, what's going to happen. It's a massive day out. Family can go and everything like that. But again, we're trying to help them build an experience from the get-go. And charities, Marie Curie, I'll talk about that a bit later on. Marks and Spencer's, there's a wide range, and some others, but they're the ones that look great. But to sort of sum it up in a nice way, and hopefully there's sound, I'm just going to play this.
Any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
Cool. So enough about that. Let's get back to the 6 principles. Guess what? Number 1. Who? okay? When you get a brief or you get something, you know, you've got an idea, or you get someone to tell you, oh, can you do this for me? Because it's usually like friends and family, and they say, could you do a Christmas card for me or something like that? Or you get a brief, who is it you're talking to? There's two people you need to know. Who you're delivering it to, who's the decision maker, if you like, because you don't want to design something and they go, oh, I'll just go and ask my mum, because then she might go, no, that's not what I was looking for. So find out who you're actually delivering it to, and then work out personas. I don't know if, hands up if you heard of personas. Thank you. Okay, so a persona is basically working out in a very sort of simple way who the target audience is. So it might be, for example, you could give them a name just so that they've got a name, so you can in your head work out who they are. You could say it's predominantly female, so you could say it's Jane. How old is she? Where does she work? What does she do? What's her interests? You give her a real personality and a sort of, someone's called Jane, isn't there? No. So it's kind of just giving that person a bit of, you can give them like a personality, so that when you're designing or coming up with the idea, you can always refer back to that person and see if it resonates with them, because you've got to take yourself out of it. You can't design it for you because you're not the person that you're designing it for. So work out who. Principle number 2. Oh, there's a laser eye. Hopefully I don't. Know the brief. Okay, so when you get a written brief, when you're sort of in the industry, you sometimes get briefs that are like hundreds of pages long, or like a 60-page document. Now for me, as I said, I'm not very good at reading, and I sort of get I read the same line about 4 times. So the best thing to do is read the brief about 3 or 4 times, make sure you've got it, but then break it down. So the best way of doing that is taking a big document, and this was for the RNLI, it was Respect the Water campaign, big document, but we broke it down into a really concise, easy to digest statement. So how might we make the RNLI Respect the Water campaign more relevant and engaging to a digital savvy audience? So from that, I know what the campaign is, I know who I'm trying to approach, what I'm trying to do, but it just makes it a little bit easier, and you can always refer back to this with the client or whoever you're designing it for, the creative for, and you can just say, does this work for you? Do you understand what we're trying to do here? And have that statement in the back of your head all the time, and always refer back to it, and make sure that you're answering that when you're coming up with ideas. It's principle number 3. Get inspired or steal, okay? Have a look around. You might see something somewhere and go, it might just be a billboard, or it might be a magazine ad. Whatever it is, just remember it, or peel it out, or take a photo of it on your phone. Just remember it and be inspired for it. Take little things from other places and bring it all together. Now, when I say steal, I don't mean look at a website and go, that's brilliant, copy and paste, change the logo. I don't mean that. What I mean is take inspiration from other places and steal it. So you sort of saw in the video, there was a Marie Curie. We're doing a campaign for them, for people that have passed away. And it's a website that you can put in photos, stories, and allow other people to put those stories in. Mickey Mouse isn't dead, don't worry. But this is kind of a sort of online bank, like a Dropbox, if you know what that is. It's like a Dropbox of memories and stories and eulogies, photography, anything that people can go to. Now, the idea, when we went back to them and we said, oh, we're thinking of using the daffodil, their hearts sank. They went, oh, we see daffodils every day, all the time, because Marie Curie, it's their logo. But what we did was we sort of twisted it, and we stole the idea of using the daffodil, but just using petals and having this 3D environment that you could cycle through. So basically, we stole the logo and then evolved it and created something different from that. And this is going live in when are we? Not December yet, but it's going live next month. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes all right. Principle number 4. Spider diagrams. Does anyone know what a spider diagram is? Yes, great. Thanks, guys. So a spider diagram is a really good way of coming up with your core statement in the middle, or the whatever it is in the middle, and then you spin off. You sort of come away with lots of different ideas. The idea is you've got your middle thing, you come off with different ideas or different words. I always use a thesaurus or a dictionary or something like that to come out with ideas that spin off onto that. And the idea is that you might go off onto tangents and then come up with different ideas, but get other people around, get a few of you in the room. If there's like 3 or 4 of you coming up with different ideas, it always sort of stimulates different ways of thinking, and it could make you come to an idea that's really different, and you thought, I would never have thought we'd got to this idea. But because of the way that you can span off and other ideas create other ideas, it keeps flowing and it keeps going. You're never done. That's another thing with like creative thinking. You're never actually done. There's never an end solution. There's always another thing that you can do. So keep going with it. But this enables you to do that. Nice little spider diagram. It's all very visual. I like visuals. Principle number 5, have a break. Sometimes you can be trying to think of an idea and it's not happening. You go, it doesn't happen. You kind of start knocking your head against the wall and going, it's just not working. Get out. Go and have a cup of tea or a coffee. Go for a walk. Get outside. Get some fresh air. Have a drink of water. That's always a good one. It's scientifically proven, now I'm talking about science here and I haven't got the thing to back it up, but it is proven that actually your brain is most active, if you like, when you're waking up. So I've been known to have a few naps at work. It enables me to have naps without having to come up with an excuse. So, but when you're waking up, your brain's, you remember a dream only like about 2 minutes before you wake up. It's only that bit that you remember because your brain's most active when you're waking up from a sleep. You're not supposed to have your phone by you when you sleep because they say that it's not good because it's screen time. But I always jot down ideas when I first wake up in the morning because that's when I come up with ideas and I sort of have more creative thinking, I suppose. So have a nap. It's as simple as that. There is other places that you can get ideas, and I tend to come up with good ideas also from when I've gone to the toilet. Read into that what you will. Principle number 6, the last one, huzzah. Mood boards. You know what a mood board is, right? Okay. Mood boards are generally for interior designers or people that do sort of car design or stuff like that. But I love a mood board. The reason is that you can present or show your thinking or your ideas without having to actually do anything. You can go to Google, you can go to Pinterest, you can go anywhere, and you can grab sort of illustrations, animations, videos, anything, and you can put it into a mood board and present it without having to do anything. So as an example for that, University of Southampton, we came up with a campaign for them for alumni, and it was basically when you left university, they wanted to re-engage with the people that had been to university. So we came up with the idea of replay, which was what track takes you back. And the idea was, what's the song that gets you on the dance floor when you're at university? What's the song that you remember when you first joined in Freshers Week? And everyone started, you'll probably think about a song yourself, but everyone started going, oh, what's my song? And then they don't listen to what we were presenting. But the idea was we presented this in saying, okay, there's a wealth of tracks out there. There's loads of stuff and it spans across any generation. So putting up here just tracks and albums. Generally what I do is I go from left to, I do this sort of thing. So you've got your tracks here. Okay, that's good. I know what you're saying. We can present album covers or single covers. We can use these guys. So the analogy of standing on the shoulder of giants, we can actually use iTunes or Spotify to create playlists so that then people can share them. Brilliant. We don't have to create a bespoke sort of Spotify. We can use what's there. There's merchandising, that sort of thing, t-shirts. There's some point of interest things that we could put around the university. There's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which none of you will remember, but it's about the track. You do? You know? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I apologise. You know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So it's kind of, you know, what's the track that makes you dance, get up on the stage, or have that feeling. It's about the experience. It's what feeling does it give you? Only Fools and Horses. I don't know why that's there. I like Only Fools and Horses, so I put it there. Again, and it's when you're listening to music. When do you listen to music? Your bedroom, you're on your phone, whatever. You're walking to somewhere. We can sort of speak to a lot of people. So a mood board was presenting that idea without actually having to do anything. So it saved time, but it's a good way of doing it visually. So I don't know what I'm like on time. Have I whizzed through that?
A little bit.
Excellent.
You can have time for
Dan can have more time. To sum it up, okay, who's involved? Who are you speaking to? Who are the people that you're designing this creative idea for? Get the persona sorted. I'll talk slowly. 2, know the brief. Get the brief in your head. Write a little statement that sums it up as a summary statement. It's much easier to read a summary statement than reading a 50-page document every time. Get inspired, steal. Have a look around. Doesn't matter where you are, just remember things. It might come in useful for another idea that you haven't even got the brief for yet. So keep a little notebook, take photos, have a little album in your photos book, you know, on your phone. Just keep things in the back of your mind. Spider diagrams, that's the spanning off, getting people around you to come up with some different ideas and different words. Have a break or have a nap. It's as simple as that. And then mood boards. Just tell the story through visuals and movement and animations. And like I did before, it's just coming up with the idea without having to actually create a finished product so that people understand the idea. And that's it. So I guess, oh, thanks.